Hi everybody, my name is Psychic Medium Kelly Miller and I'm here today to talk to you about Basic Psychic Abilities 101. And I'm just today going to talk to you about the 5 clairs. These are the basic things that you need for psychic and mediumship skills too. So the first one I'm going to talk about is clairaudient. Okay, that is the ability to hear spirit. Now understand that when I hear spirit, I don't hear spirit with my ears. I actually hear them in my head. Albeit, do I hear them with my ears? On the occasion, yes I do. Especially if I'm driving and I hear maybe a spirit say stop or slow down. Those are the ones that I will hear audibly, but that's pretty rare. Usually when I hear spirit, it's going to be right here on the right side of my head, right about my temple area. And it's really fast. It's not slow. So what I tell people is how to differentiate if this is your mind making it up or if it's intuition. Intuition is way faster than logic. So it's almost kind of like you can't even get the question answered in your head or asked in your head before the answer comes in, and then you have to think about that logically. So understand it's very fast. Now, a lot of times when I hear spirit, it's usually when it first started, it was going to be in my own voice. Because if your spirit guides or spirit came to you in their voice in your head, it would freak you out, okay? So that's why a lot of times they'll come to you in your own voice in your head. And that does make it pretty confusing on trying to decipher if you're actually talking to yourself or if you're actually talking to spirit. So clairaudient is usually associated with the throat chakra. Now the throat chakra can be adjusted accordingly with stones, tuning forks, music, different things you can adjust chakras with. So if you're having trouble with clairaudient or audience, usually it's because your throat chakra isn't quite open right or there's some residual fear back behind there. Again, understand that it's not necessarily that you're going to hear it in your ear, but you are going to hear it in your head, usually in your own voice, and really, really fast. So when you're doing the dishes or taking a shower or doing something that doesn't require a whole bunch of thought, and all of a sudden you feel like you just had a conversation with yourself, more than likely you just had a conversation with spirit. Okay, the next ability I'd like to talk to you about is clairvoyance. And this is the ability to see spirit. So understand I don't necessarily see spirit with my eyes. I usually see them as pictures, images, sometimes even symbols in my head. Understand it does feel like imagination, so it is kind of hard to differentiate if you're really seeing that or thinking that, but understand it will come very, very quickly, faster than you can sometimes logically reason. So a lot of times when I do see spirit, sometimes I do see them with my eyes, but it's pretty rare. I usually don't see them dead on with my eyes. Usually I see them off to the corner of my eye. So if you're sitting there watching TV and you see something dart on by, more than likely you just saw spirit. So understand that if you'd like to work on your clairvoyance a little bit better, that third eye chakra of yours does have to be open. So work on the third eye chakra and try to see what's going by off to the corner of your eye or ask questions in your head telepathically and see what comes back in responses as far as images go and use that for a tool or a guide on helping other people using clairvoyance. The next one I'd like to talk to you about is clairsentience. This one is a little tricky because empaths usually have this really good. And empathic people are people that have the tendency to feel other people's emotional states, but have the tendency to take them on as your own. So somebody could be sitting there in a booth really, really happy, and somebody walks by in a really crabby mood, and all of a sudden you're like, rawr, and you don't know why. That's why. It's because you're picking up on their energy. These people are usually the ones that go to Walmart, and everybody loves to come talk to them at the Walmart checkout line. Understand that those are called energy vampires, and they're draining your energy dry, and when you guys get equal, they walk away. And then you get into your car and you're totally exhausted. That's why. So clairsentience is the ability to feel other people's not only emotional states, but just to feel. And usually most people have this. So if somebody were to walk up behind me, 9 times out of 10, I bet you were to guess if they were male or female based on their energy and how they feel to you. So clairsentience, I think, is probably the #1 ability that most people have, but they don't realize that that sixth sense really is something that they can use. So I always encourage people to feel their way with everything. Usually that one is associated with the heart chakra. And so that's why empaths feel guilty if they don't help people. And so that's the biggest one with that one, that's associated with the heart chakra. So if you're having trouble either connecting with other people by the way they make you feel or not understanding how they feel, then that heart chakra of yours very well could be off. So clairsentient, to me, #1 ability. Most people have it, so use it to your advantage. The next one I want to talk about is claircognizance. Now, claircognizance is the one that when it hits you, you know something's wrong. Claircognizance is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and so when you get punched in the gut, you're right, something isn't right. Those are the ones that what I'd like to call mother's intuition. So if all of a sudden things go quiet and you know there's a disturbance in the force, you're right, there probably is markers or something going on with the kids. So understand that when claircognizance hits, usually that's one associated with something going wrong, almost 9 times out of 10. Not necessarily things that go right, because it hits you right in the pit of your stomach and you know something isn't right. Claircognizance, again, associated with that solar plexus. So if that one's off, you need to adjust it as well. But that's one that's kind of hit and miss. It's not very consistent, but when you get it, you'll know it. That's a pretty good one. And the last one is called Clairgustance. And I'm just going to kind of group this one together. This is the taste or the smell of certain things. Now, I really use this one a lot when it comes to my readings, especially the mediumship side. I know if somebody was a smoker because I will smell cigarette smoke. I can tell if somebody died in a fire because I will smell that fire smell. A lot of times I can smell roses or perfumes or grandma's brownies. So that's it's a really good ability for me personally, but I think if most people would just to pay attention to it a little bit more, they could use it too. Now, Clairgustance it's kind of an odd one when it hits. It's kind of associated with that throat chakra too, but not really. It's one of those that it's very subtle, but it's very quick. And those are the ones that most people poo-poo away, especially when it comes from sign from spirit. So for instance, my dad always sends buttered popcorn, and it's usually 2 sniffs, and I go for the 3rd sniff and it's not there. So I'm like, I go for the 3rd one, it's not there. Now I know right here it hits me that that's a sign from my dad, but my first logical thought is, well, somebody around here is making some buttered popcorn. So understand that that is another psychic ability that you can use to your advantage when it comes to either reading people or helping people along this road. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope it helped you out. Stay tuned because I'll be talking a lot more about psychic abilities as far as mediumship goes, meditation stuff, and there's more good things to come. So thanks for watching.